Hello, my friend. How are you?
Hello, Ricardo. Good to be here with you. Hello,
There,
everyone.
yeah. Hello, everyone. Yeah, it's always great to see you and to meet you. I think today we have our broadcast working normally, so we'll not have the same challenges. Hello, everyone. I'm seeing the claps here and the thumbs up. So very good to see all of you. Uh, uh, Antonio and I, we decided to do this live stream to share you. This is all about the masterclass we will do next week. So this is more to answer to some of you some of the questions and talk about what do we think about the masterclass, and also we invited all the current participants to attend. So we are very happy to do that. And you can use the Q&A, those on Zoom, to send questions. And also, if you are on LinkedIn, because we decided we have a lot of registration, so we decided to open this on LinkedIn and YouTube, so I can see all of them here. So you can send and write your question, and we'll do our best to answer it. But Antonio, I think we need to start with you. So maybe you can start with the idea on why we think we should discuss more, and we decided to prepare this masterclass on AI in project management.
Yeah, so good to see everyone. When Ricardo and I said, let's do this kind of session, we didn't expect more than 20 people, 30 people. We were surprised to see more than 600 or 700.
Yeah, we had almost 800 just on Zoom. Yeah.
So I think what we thought our idea was, we're building something new. Everybody talks about AI. There's starting to be a bit some courses as well. So we wanted to make sure that you understand our purpose for this masterclass. This is not something new. Ricardo and I thought about this masterclass when we wrote the article for HBR. So maybe 4 months ago, we've been thinking about what's the best format. How can we share this knowledge? How can we bring and create a first cohort of leaders that understand AI in project management? So this is something that we thought in advance. We have put quite some time to shape the master class, and we thought that it would be worth it to spend 30 minutes, 45 minutes here with you, just to see if you had any questions for the master class next week and the week after. And there will be more master class, of course, if you cannot make it for this one. But that's kind of a bit setting the scene for this call, Ricardo.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. And also, one thing that I just want to add, it's not just the masterclass. We really want to make an impact. So out of this initial masterclass, we will build a cohort, because on the top of the participants of the masterclass, so we are building a LinkedIn group dedicated to these people. So we want really to prepare the advocates of this transformation. So because, Antonio and I, we are just two people. So we need really to get more people engaged. So this is, I would say, the start of a movement. Okay, so this is exactly what we aim with that. And one thing that people ask, and I already have one question from Priscilla. Priscilla asked me, how much knowledge do I need to have in terms of technical AI, technicalities of AI? What I want to tell you is that I will start, I would say, the first probably 15, 20 minutes of the first day of the masterclass. I will talk about AI, large language model, and generative AI 101. I will explain to you, for someone that has no idea of the technicality, what is generative AI and what are these large language models. Because when you just go on ChatGPT, on Bard, and type something, what is happening behind? However, it's not our intention. This is not a generative AI course where people will learn how to code and how to create applications. But this masterclass aims to do two basic things. Explain the universe of the potentiality of AI. And second, help you to understand when you are building a project that will use AI, which things you need to be mindful of. So which kind of aspects, and we will just touch base on some technical aspects, but it's not what we aim. We aim that you understand AI as a tool and that you understand your responsibility. And this is a big topic. While you develop something using AI, what you need to be aware about potential side effects and this. So this is one of the key intentions of the masterclass. Another thing I think you want to talk, Antonio, it's about it will not be you and I only. We'll have some guests, so maybe you want just to share some of the information here.
Yeah, so we know the topic, but there's some people who have been working on AI before us as well, and we wanted to bring the best of the best. So we have identified 3 candidates. We have 2 confirmed already. I'll talk about Mark Exposito. Mark Exposito is often speaking at Peter Drucker Forum. Thinkers 50 is recognized. He's working in AI. He has been working maybe 15 years already in artificial intelligence together with his partner. He has a company that invests in AI. So we thought that Mark, who's a good friend of Ricardo and myself, could be a great person to give us his thought. He's going to join us on day 2. So that's one of the highlights of the meeting. And then day one, Ricardo, you have somebody that's also amazing.
It's Vincent. I'm so proud of having him. He worked at LinkedIn, at WhatsApp, at Facebook, at Meta, doing AI projects. And he knows deeply what is behind all the journey of all these companies, from the voice box of Meta to Bard and also ChatGPT. And he will give a witness, testimony about his experience, okay? And what is the idea? It's not only to bring my experience and Antonio, but also to bring some guests that are really doing that. He lives at the Silicon Valley, and he is deeply, absolutely deeply engaged with that. And this is just to bring some external perspective to our discussion. One important point about the masterclass is that it's not just a show and tell. It's not just Ricardo speaking 2 hours, then Antonio speaks 2 hours, then Ricardo 2 hours, and Antonio 2 hours, and it's over. No. I would say that between 30 to 35% of the time will be in smaller groups, working together. So what is the idea of doing that? We will split the cohort into groups. Okay, for those who do not know yet, we already have exceeded our initial limit of it. We have today 60 people, okay, and we're pretty much fully booked, and we aim to take this group and it's smaller groups where they will discuss some specific topics, think out of the box in some questions, and then they will come back to the full group, and we will pick some groups to share their knowledge. And every time you do an exercise, you will do in a different group. So the groups will be split randomically, because it's a massive opportunity. Just to give you an idea, we have people registered from pretty much everywhere. I will just get the countries here, but we have people from Japan to Mauritius, from Brazil to Belgium, Canada, US. So it's a really a big cohort, and this is also an opportunity, because what we want that with the seed of this initial event, these people on this first group will help us to multiply the idea and to turn really our understanding of AI in project management mainstream. And this is, I think, what Antonio we are trying to do since the very, very beginning of our discussions on AI.
I want to just add, because what Ricardo says is just so important. But one thing that we want to share also is we see, even if it's just one day and it's 4 hours and we see this like more like a community, right? We want that you feel part of a starting, a pioneering community in the space of project management. And that's why you've seen the creation of a LinkedIn private group for us. We want that people see you as well as somebody that's in the thought leadership space, not just Ricardo and myself, but you're coming into this space together with us, so that you also get that recognition, not just the knowledge, but the recognition, the opportunity to be considered one of the pioneers in this space. So I think that the opportunity of creating this community, this movement, like Ricardo calls it, it's just so exciting. It's just, we've not been in this position ever, I think, in the project management world. So that's great. I want to answer one of the questions here from Alcides. The question is about how do you see the future of PM roles with the presence of AI? So actually, Alcides, one of the questions that we have in the survey, which has been already, we were looking at having 300 responses. How many do we have already, Ricardo?
I will tell you now, but this morning we had something like 716. But I will, it's amazing, because this we have, and this will allow us to do something really interesting on in terms of data. And the plan we are working on, Antonio is mainly working on this during the next few days, because we want to share these initial results with this cohort to discuss with them. Do these results make sense? But when we have this amount of answers, 727 right now, and the survey closes. If you are listening to me and you didn't answer yet, please do so.
Good.
rvarg.as/survey. Please do that and help us to get as many answers as we can to analyze. Okay.
Put it on the chat, Ricardo, if you can. I don't know.
I'm putting now on the chat also. Okay?
So I want to go to, and just for your information, the latest survey on AI was done by IPMA and PwC. They got 290 replies. So that's why we were aiming to 300. But we have 720 almost. So it's you would get a lot of data. And one of the questions is what Alice is asking here. What's the role of the project manager? The answers of the survey is that about 60% of the role of project manager is going to change. 60%, which when I read that, I said, wow, this is really a lot. It's like we need to find a lot of new things to learn. And this is things that we're going to be discussing next week and the week after. So thank you for the question. I'll see this.
24 countries participating today in register for the workshop: Argentina, Belgium, Brazil, Canada, China, Colombia, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, Lithuania, Mauritius, Netherlands, Peru, Philippines, Poland, Puerto Rico, Saudi Arabia, Sweden, Switzerland, UAE, Uganda, UK, and US. These are the current countries we are ready. So it's really a global cohort that we are aiming to have and to discuss.
There's a bit of questions on certification, Ricardo. PMP, CIPM. What do you think about that? How is it going to be impacted?
Yeah, I think both of them, again, it's very important. Both Antonio and I, we have a very strong relationship with PMI, but we are not PMI. Okay, just for you to be mindful. So I'm talking on my behalf and not on behalf of PMI. But my view is that the project management professional and the CAPM, they are, I would say, the same type of certification at different levels. CAPM at the beginner's level and PMP in a more senior level. And for me, they are not about managing projects using waterfall or managing projects using a predictive approach. but they are all about managing projects. So I hope that in the future, AI will be part of the exam, all these knowledges, negotiation, and everything that combines. Again, I would love the concept of the umbrella, is that the PMP is the umbrella. The PMP is not about one specific method, but it's about which are your abilities that you need to develop to deliver better project. This is how I see. And with that, I see that probably AI will become a topic of the certification. Another thing I want also to answer, maybe this was not the question, but probably is very relevant also, is that the certification will still be valuable in an AI world? And my answer is yes, because at the end, I don't see, at least in the medium term future, that computers or AI will be able to fully manage and decide on a project. This is absolutely a very complex thinking, and it's not only about learning, about a matter of learning and trying to learn. Remember, generative AI and all these trends today, they use pre-trained data to generate new data. Pre-trained, it means you need to have some historical information. They don't build on the top of nothing. And us as a project manager, many times we need to have that insight, that change. This is why, for example, I don't see with we need to be cautious today, Antonio, to say, today we don't. Honestly, if you asked years ago about Bard, ChatGPT, or Bing, I would say it would be very hard to have a software that would be able to do that. And now, look, everybody's using. And I love to tell you, all of you, once true history of my daughter, my youngest daughter. My youngest daughter, she's on the first year of biotechnology at the Imperial College. 3 months ago, she received something like almost every week letters from her department saying, you are not allowed to use ChatGPT. You are not allowed to use Bard. You are not allowed to use this. We know it you use. You cannot do. 3 months ago. Now, she's having classes of using ChatGPT and doing prompt engineering to do research on biotech. This is true. I'm just telling, this happened between February and now. And look how the trend is. Okay, so now how you can make the best use, because it's impossible today for us to skip that. It's just impossible. Antonio, there is no way that we can just say we don't want to use.
Yeah, so there's a couple of questions. Can you put also, please, Ricardo, the link to the masterclass in the chat?
Absolutely.
So we have
the link to the masterclass,
so that people have that fresh and you can see the content there. So the idea is to also together think. We all know project management. I think that's an assumption that we can make with the majority, and we know where we struggle. So we don't just want to talk about latest tool in AI and related to project management, but also to reflect it, to be more critical, where we see, okay, we're spending a lot of time in reporting. We're spending a lot of time in analyzing critical path. We're spending a lot of time in risk management. So we need to keep that mindset. We want to share this eagerness to find solution now with technologies. We will not cover everything, and I'm sure that in a month there will be new tools. We're going to show, and I leave that for you, Ricardo, the PM Auto, the big thing there. But I think what it makes us different in this space is that we will need to be looking at tools constantly. It has to be part of our monthly checkups and try them. Right? So we know, and we've scanned the market, and we know that there's AI tools for prioritization already with machine learning and selecting better projects with more chances to succeed. We've seen tools that we're going to cover for planning that can do a WBS in 5 minutes, not in 5 weeks. So we know the current tools, but this is moving at speed of light. So some of the tools might be taken over in a month. So what I want and Ricardo share is it's a different mindset. We need to be constantly on the hunting for tools that can make our life better. We can deliver projects better and we can focus on where we add most value. Reporting is not where we add value. Risk management, yeah, partially, but not completely. There's a lot of bureaucracy. So how can we elevate ourselves from really being more administrative project managers to executives that drive projects, that we become the CEOs, and that includes the tools. And this is part of that community that we want to build is, well, if anybody of the 60, 70 participants finds these tools, we will share that. So this is a continuous process that will build knowledge around AI and project management. It's not one stop off and it's done. It's an evolution and it might accelerate, yeah, when you look at this trend. So that makes me very exciting about this. But Ricardo, I don't want it
No,
to
yeah,
jump
that's
to...
what you said about the tools. Every single day, I know a new tool. For example, this morning, I was talking about a new legal tool to do legal framework and contracts that I just saw. I didn't have time to test. So every day, there is something new evolving. And what I see is that a lot of organizations are trying to deploy this. And one of the things that I want to use also, we are going very strong on using these large language models for project management with the PMO, the tool that Antonio participates with me, and we decided really to put something unique in place that use the large language model on the top of a massive knowledge on project management, something that is tailored to answer and analyze projects. For example, it's a tool that when you ask a PMI, people will not say Phillips Morris International. You know, it will know that you are talking about the universe of projects and all the peculiarities of this. And the idea, I'm working around the clock this week to get the first batch of beta testers out of the participants of the masterclass. So we will release to them. Of course, I have access already to the PMOto. If you go to the PMOto.ai today, you will see a lot of different screens. And so this is exactly what we are doing right now as we speak to upload. So probably by next week, we will start having the inflow. We have more than 1,000 people on the waiting list for that. And the PMOto is a seed of this movement on how we can really take a lead and not be, you know, what I see is that in technology, many people, they take a lead on developing the technologies. And we as project managers, we just ask, wait, things to stabilize for us to do. And now what we want to shift this, and we want really to promote this change because we believe that the way people will study project management, the way people will learn project management, the way people will apply project management, the way PMOs will operate. Next week, I will record a podcast about exactly that. In this environment will change, definitely will change. And this is exactly what we are planning to talk about.
There's a question on the importance of human skills of facilitation, coaching, and leadership, Rob. Rob Pipers, I suppose you're from the Netherlands. And yes, absolutely. I think that they're going to keep, but also increase. I think we need to focus more if they remove AI and technologies like machine learning, we will need to dedicate more time on stakeholder management. We need to dedicate more time on facilitation, coaching, leadership. So it's not going to disappear. That's going to be enforcing. We used to call them soft skills. I think there are some soft skills which are just kind of communication, but I think the modern project management that embraces AI needs to have an executive mindset So the mindset, the growth mindset, somebody that really fights and drives projects, it's something that I see more and more demanding in organizations. So we're going to cover that part on how these skills are evolving, where are they needed. Critical thinking is one of the most important that comes into play when we look at AI. And there's one which is rising very quickly too, is ethics. The combination of AI and technology and project leadership ethics is very, very, very important. So because who trusts the machine, right? Who can you trust it? Do you know who's producing, who's developing? So it's a topic that's today we give for granted. We have our code of conduct in project management, but that's going to be disrupted too. So that's an important topic we want to address too in the masterclass. Thank you for a good question.
Yeah, I have, and please let me add, because I think this is a central part. Part 4 of our masterclass is all about these challenges. And you will see that most of these challenges are not technology related. It are the ethical ones. And not only ethical about the data and the data with bias, but the ethical about the impact of the project you were doing. For example, we need as project managers to be responsible for the products we build. So if we are building a product that could be misused, that could lead to, for example, I found, I would say, quite responsible when Meta, the owner of Facebook, released the voice box. The voice box is absolutely, in terms of technology, it's just incredible because it records your voice, and in something like, if I'm not wrong, 20 seconds of your voice, it can emulate your voice saying whatever you want. Whatever you want. I can put in the mouth of Antonio, after recording him, he can say whatever I want. This is fantastic in terms of translating things or supporting things. But at the same time, this comes with a lot of challenges about, imagine you in the morning receiving a phone call from your children, one of your children saying, I was kidnapped and this, and it's not true. And so what Meta decided, they didn't release it to public yet. They don't know exactly how they will release because they feel that it's too dangerous, ethically speaking. So did you see there are many implications? And honestly, there is always a project manager behind this development, right? At Meta, at VoiceBox, there is someone that is maybe listening to this that will do that. Okay, so just to for you to let me just do you think, Francisco, do you think it will enlarge project management possibilities, impact, and autonomy? Yes, I'm very positive. If we as a community become more ready for that, it will impact and it will leverage our profession deeply, because we will be the link of turning this into reality. A big part of this operational work will go to technology, but this top layer will become, I would say, much more valuable for us. Antonio, do you want to take some answers here? We have 27 here.
Yeah, I'm answering them, trying to answer them by the chat while we're speaking. So I see lots of people, someone from Australia joining midnight there, incredible. Many people from South America, Africa. So let me just take a question here. Masin from Dubai, how to build AI in project governance. Will the masterclass cover how it will impact project governance? Yes, absolutely. I think this is a big role, because we need to engage the senior leaders too in your governance, the executive committee, the steering committee. So this is something that we're going to be elaborating and discussing in the masterclass. Masin, it's not like a big disruption in that space, but people need to embrace AI in the projects, and people often are afraid, right, for new technologies. So there's a lot of change management to be done also on that, on the top part of the projects organizations, and that's the governance. So this is something that we will address as one of the core areas that we need to focus. So thank you, Messi, for the great question there.
Let me
Ricardo?
take one. Joe, what percentage of time saving do you expect from AI in project management? Of course, it depends on the task, but in operational tasks, I would suggest a number between 80 and 90%. Let me just give you an idea. I'm using pretty much all the time today for many tasks related to communication, many tasks related to brainstorming, related to nominal group technique, Delphi technique to identify risks. And instead of spending something like 1 hour trying to figure out what would be the risks of something, by using these large language models with this layer that I'm using for tasks, I can do it in 30 seconds. So it's a massive. But I'm not saying that your project will speed up 90%. I'm saying that your operational tasks and communication tasks will speed up at least by something like 70%, at least, okay? If not more. With the new releases of tools, this can increase, okay? Johnny Wong from Hong Kong. Any project management tools that you would recommend? We recorded our last webinar. You can check on YouTube our last webinar. We introduced several of them to compile and summarize PDFs like UMATA, to prepare presentations like Gamma, use Motion to organize and schedule calendars. So many of them that you can see there, okay? And we are this weekend refreshing this list to share on part 3 of the masterclass next week.
I think we're coming towards the end, Ricardo. There's a few questions that I've already answered. I'm trying to find out if there's something really that we missed.
Yeah, what I think we really want. I think this webinar is we are pretty much booked. If any of you are still available and interested, probably we will have maybe 5 more places on that. But we want also to clarify, and we decided to do this to clarify because we are planning to do this, I would say, next time. We haven't decided yet the date, okay, but probably will be in the mid of the second semester on that. And what we want is we want to create this movement. You know, we want more and more people concerned about how we can bring AI close to us to become more productive and to deliver, because AI will come closer to us. Okay, as a friend or as something challenging us. If we know how to handle, we can dominate and we can leverage this. This is why I always tell, I think Antonio said this, and I will just borrow your words, that who will be the best competitor for a project manager will be a project manager using AI. And it will not be AI replacing the PM, but the PM that is able to use this. Antonio, any final words from your side?
There's some questions that you can find. Ricardo and I have done already a few webinars. You can find them for free. There's already tools that we cover. We're going to go deeper in the masterclass, but have a look at them. They're free. They're available. So some of the questions can be answered there. But for me, just saying, I want to thank everybody, even if you don't manage to join the masterclass. I think being part of this community, we're going to keep sharing webinars and information, and the survey will get out for everyone later on as well. So I think it's great to keep this momentum. I think, and I'm just very pleased, and we're going to see how the masterclass goes.
I hope we will release the videos of the PMOTO, and the PMOTO will be. We opened the registration, but it's something that is very close to my heart and Antonio's heart, because, you know, this will be, I would say, the best way to, I would say, make information available to everyone, you know. So we just empower everyone to deliver better projects.
Yeah, and you will find in this PMOTO all the information, all our knowledge. from Ricardo, myself, more people. So I think this is going to be the people go to ChatGPT now. I will be going to PMO Auto all the time to check how I can do my projects better. So that's part of the excitement. We're doing all these things together to create the movement. So I just want to thank everyone for their time, for the questions. Sorry if we could not answer all of them, but we'll be back. Some of you will see, hopefully many of you in the masterclass on Wednesday, and then we'll keep in touch for sure. I think there's many more things to come. And please join PMO Auto when it's released. It's going to be the gaming change tool in NI for project management. 100% sure.
We are very excited about that. Antonio, thanks for your friendship. Thanks for the partnership. And to all of you, thank you very much. And for those attending, see you next Wednesday. Okay? Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Antonio. Oh,
Bye,
and
thank you.
Enjoy your holidays. Okay? Enjoy your holidays next week. Bye-bye. See you. Bye, Antonio.
Bye, Ricardo.